close again, just let me know.
Okay.
Alright, regular type of equations we might have to solve here, okay? 8 to what power equals 20? Answer is probably going to be somewhere between what and what? 1 and 2, because 8 to the first is 1, 8 to the second is 64, answer's got to be somewhere in between there, okay? How do we solve this? One of two ways, okay? One way is to change forms. This is an exponential form, change it to logarithmic form, okay? Totally fine if you want to do that, okay? Anybody know what this would be in logarithmic form? Log to the base 8 of 20 equals x, okay? So if you change forms, you'd have log to the base 8 of 20 equals x. And then, you know how to do this now using your change of base formula? How do you do this? Log of 20 divided by log of 8, okay? So x equals the log of 20 divided by the log of 8. And you'll get your answer. Okay? I kind of do it a different way. Okay? Just because it's just what I've always done. Anytime I see a variable up in the exponent, I just log both sides of the equal sign. That's fair. As long as you do it to both sides of the equal sign, you're not changing anything. So I log both sides of the equal sign. Now I use my log properties. Remember our power property? What can I do with this exponent? Move it out to the front. So now I have x times the log of 8 equals the log of 20. What do I got to do now to solve for x? To get x by itself? Divide by log of 8, both sides. Log of 8 divided by log of 8. You end up doing the exact same math, right? That's just what I've always done. I always log both sides instead of change forms, but both work. What is that answer, by the way, anybody? 1.44. Get a second on that? 1.44?
Yep.
Okay. Questions on that? Let's see. Let's try something like this. Solve this for x. 3e to the negative 2x plus 5 equals 22. What do you guys think? Subtract 5. Not yet. Dude, get rid of that 3 first. Yeah, get rid of that 3 first. Okay, divide both sides by 3. I'm just going to leave it 17 thirds because I don't want to type in a bunch of 6s. Okay. Now you got one of two options. You can change forms, and when you change forms, you will end up using what? Log or natural log? Natural log because your base is e. Okay. So when you change forms, you'll use ln. Okay. Or me, I'm just going to ln both sides. If I was solving it. Okay, I'm going to natural log both sides. Okay? So ln of e to the negative 2x equals the ln of 17 thirds. What can I do with the negative 2x? Bring it out to the front. Remember, power rule. Anything on a power back here can be moved out to the front. So negative 2x, ln of e equals the ln of 17 thirds. Then what?
Divide L and E by both.
Divide both sides by the ln of e. Now is where I'd probably get out my calculator. I'd find the ln of 17/3. I'd divide it by the ln of e, get that answer, and then because I still have negative 2x over here, what do I still have yet to do with that answer? If I'm trying to solve for x, divide by negative 2. Okay? Divide both sides by negative 2. And a little help. This divided by this, then divide by negative 2.
Okay.
Should be negative, I'm fairly certain.
-0.867.
So about negative 0.87. Make sure you have parentheses around the 17/3. Get that answer. Divide it by the ln of e. Get that answer. Then divide by negative 2.
Oh, I didn't divide by negative
You kind of need, yeah. Because we got to solve for x, right?
2. Yeah.
So about negative 0.87.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Gotcha. Good. Okay. So how are we doing something like that? Okay. How am I time-wise?
Almost 7 minutes.
Okay.
It said it has low battery though, 10% left.
Okay. We kind of solved the logarithm one already. I'll give you a challenging one here. Alright. So here we're solving for our variable, and it's being logarithm, so it's kind of similar to the earthquake problem that we were doing. The variable you're solving for is being logarithm, but the difference is here there's 2 logarithms. Okay? Well, let's just make it 1 logarithm.
They're not the same things.
So can we condense it?
Yes.
Okay? Because there's a plus between them, what do you got to do with these 2 things?
Or more.
Multiply them. Okay? So you'll get log to the base 4 of negative x squared minus 10x. Condense them. When there's a plus between them, you can multiply those things together. When I take this times this, that's what I get. Negative x times x gives me negative x squared. Negative x times 10 gives me negative 10x. Okay? Now you're going to change forms. So 4 to the second power equals this. 4 to the second power equals negative x squared minus 10x. So 16 equals negative x squared minus 10x. That's a quadratic equation. Anytime you have a quadratic equation, you want to set it equal to 0. So I don't want to deal with a negative x squared. I'm going to move everything over to that side equal sign. So that'll give me x squared plus 10x plus 16 equals 0.
8 and 2.
Factor it. X plus 8, x plus 2. So x equals negative 8 and x equals negative 2. And then you can check both those answers if you wanted to. They are both going to work in this case. Yeah.
Do we have any more to learn for this, before this next test, or is this all?
This is it right here. Yep.
Taking the test on Thursday?
Yep. Okay, so there's kind of a logarithm equation. You'll have some that are like that. Okay. I'm at 10.
10.5.
Okay, I'll go fast. How long would it take to triple your money if interest compounded continuously at 7%? How long would it take to triple your money if interest is being compounded continuously at 7%? Interest compounded continuously. What do we use? Paper. Okay. All right. What do we know?
11% interest.
So R is going to be what? 0.07. 7%. 0.07. Okay. We also know we got to triple our money. Do you think it matters what values of money we use as long as we triple it? Because guess what? It's going to take the same amount of time for $1 to become $3 as it will for 1 million to become 3 million. It's going to take the exact same amount of time. Right? So, do you think it matters what we use for A and P? So let's use what?
1.
1 and 2. Triple.
3.
Yeah, triple your money.
3.
Let's just use 1 and 3, okay? So 3 equals 1 e to the 0.07 t power. Okay? Divide by 1, then you still have this. 3 equals e to the 0.07 t power. Now all we got to do is solve for t. So what do you think?
Put them all in.
Change to logarithmic form. Okay? What would that be? ln of...
Zeros.
No.
I mean, yeah, there's a little base e. ln of 3 equals 0.07 t. Divide both sides by 0.07. On ln 3, divide by 0.07. About 15.7 years. Okay. How's my time?
13 minutes.
Okay. So, problem like that could also be something similar to what you'll see on your test. Go ahead and pause it, please.